Struggling with Python bugs that eat up your time? See how I built a ChatGPT powered debugger that not only explains your errors but fixes them in seconds. No more endless Stack Overflow searches. Hello coders, welcome to my channel. I am David, your guide to mastering programming. Before we start coding our debugger, you need to make sure that you have openai module installed, because it's not a built-in module. To install it, you need to go to your interpreter settings here, then click this plus icon, and here write openai and click install package. Since I have mine installed, I won't install it now. After that, you're ready to go. Now, from my openai module, I need to import openai. Then I want to create a client, which is going to be an instance of this openai. Now, the parameter that this openai must have is an API key. To get your API key, I will provide a link in the description below, where you will log in on your openai account and create your API key. Mine is this. Now I will create a function and call it debug with GPT, and it will have two parameters. First parameter, of course, is my code, and the second parameter is the error that my code provided. So I will create a variable prompt, which is going to be f.docstring, since my code is has multiple lines, so I need to use a multiple line string. For example, I can write this Python code raised an error, and here I will put the value of my code variable, and after that I'll write error, and here I will put the value of my error variable. After that, I need to generate the response. Response will be equal to my client chat. This means I want to create chat completion openai. So, and I will write completion, which means I want to finish my response, and then I need to create a new one. To create a response, I need to provide some values for the parameters. The most basic parameter is, of course, the module that I want to use. ChatGPT has a lot of modules, so you can use any you want. I will use the free one, GPT-4o Mini. As you can see, there's a lot of modules listed here. Next is the message, our main star, because that's what we want from our chat, from our program. Here, I will create role to be equal to system, and the content should be, for example, you are my Python assistant. This part of the code tells what I want my chat completion AI to be. I want it to be a system that is going to be my Python assistant. Then, next, I want role, user, I will be the user, and the content that the user will provide is the actual prompt that I want my Python assistant to assist me with. Prompt. Next useful parameter is randomness, which is actually called temperature. The values go from 0 until 1. 0th value means it's extremely focused, and 1, it's creative. And I want something in the middle, not too focused and not too creative. The next is how long I want the response to be. For that, I'll use max tokens to be equal to 200. 100, let's say. Max tokens aren't necessarily just words, so keep that in mind. And next, I simply want to return my response, but I have multiple choices of my response, so I will by default get the first one. Then I want the message and the content from that message. Why I wrote this? Because responses are generated like this. It will have an ID, an object, ChatGPT completion, choices, and for example, this is just one choice, but it can have multiple choices. It has index. That's why we wrote choices and then opened the square braces and wrote 0. Then that's why I wrote message, because I want the message and the content from that message, which is going to be the explanation or the answer from my GPT. And now the only thing that remains is to write our faulty code and the error message and try the function. Code example. This coding error is typical for new Python programmers, is when we want to, I'll just name this function add, is when we create a function, we forgot to put an indent here, a space or a tab. So we simply write here print a plus b. And here add 5, 3. Now the error message usually looks like this. Indentation error, and here expected an indent block after function definition at line 2. Definition at line 2. Now I can simply print and call my function debug with GPT and pass here code example and pass error message. Now when I run this, I expect my ChatGPT to solve my problem. As you can see, something is written. The error you're encountering is due to incorrect indentation in your function definition. In Python, the body of a function must be indented relative to the function definition. Here is the corrected version of your code. As you can see, it solved my problem. It put an indent before this print function inside of my add function. In this corrected code, the print a plus b line is indented with the 4 spaces or 1 tab, which is the proper way to indicate that it is a part of. I put 2 little tokens, so it didn't have enough to provide me a complete answer. But it actually worked. It solved my problem. If you found this video helpful, make sure to check out my video on mixins. Also, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next one.